Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave.
Those of us who've been in car audio for a while have expectations when it comes to subwoofers and bass, amplifiers and power. You know, a lot of times we're used to stuff that the normal person is not really used to. Well, a lot of people out there, you know, don't have a whole lot of funds. They like to go shopping. They don't have a whole lot of room in their vehicles. You know, need room for people, for groceries, for stuff like that. And we have shown recently amplifiers like this Alpine that didn't really break the bank, yet would still push subwoofers pretty well. So then it got me thinking, you know, what about these all-in-one systems that we see? How good are they? The ones that come with the sub, the box, the amplifier. So I did a search on Amazon just to kind of find out, you know, what's available, what's kind of the most popular, what people are buying, what's getting the highest ratings, things like that. And I kept coming back to this one JBL model, the Bass Pro 12, which retails for $330, which is often available at much less than that. And so I noticed it had 81% 5-star reviews on Amazon. So I started reading through some of these reviews, you know, better than expected, super bueno, great subwoofer, amazing subwoofer value, bang for the buck, 5 stars, all that stuff. So I was like, yep, we got to get one of these in and try it out. Let's speed up the unboxing as well, show you a pro tip, which is to open the box from the bottom and let gravity do all the work. Let's find out what's included in the box. First, you can see this high-level adapter. This is for using speaker-level inputs to send the signal to the amplifier. We also have a bass remote and a bass remote cable. Uses a phone-style connection. It is a plastic kind of cheap remote, but hey, at least it comes with one. Also, we get a 25-amp fuse. That's a spare. We get a 3M adhesive. That is for sticking the bass remote on. Then we get the Bass Pro 12 manual. And they threw in some earbuds for some reason, not really sure why. One thing lacking was the mounting hardware, which is kind of shocking for a device like this. You'd think it'd come with it. Here's a box. You can see the 12-inch subwoofer here. It does have a polypropylene cone, butyl rubber surround. It's not a bad-looking sub. You can tell it's rather cheaply made, but it doesn't have any kind of cover. The previous model came with somewhat of a grill to help protect the speaker. Also has a flared port, they call it Slipstream. According to JBL, reduces the turbulence and eliminates noise. Being an amplified speaker, it does have the amplifier on the back. This is a plate-style amplifier. We'll go through the different options here. You will see it has screw-down terminals here on the back for ground, remote, and 12-volt. 25-amp fuse, a remote control there for the bass remote, protect and power LEDs, low pass from 200 hertz down to 40, bass boost 0 to 12 dB at 45 hertz. There's a gain control, phase 0 or 180, line input for RCAs, high input, along with the auto turn on if you're using high level inputs from speakers. Overall, the package looks pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty slick, not extremely large in size. For dimensions, we have 22.5 inches for the length, 14.6 inches for the height, but it is a trapezoid, so depth distances are different. At the bottom, 12.2 inches. At the top, 9.2 inches. Specs for the system provided by JBL include 12-inch subwoofer, 150 watt RMS, 450 watt max amplifier, frequency response 30 to 200 hertz, 25 amp fuse, 20 amp current draw. Kind of odd to have a maximum pull of 20 amps and need a 25 amp fuse. That's really strange. Anyway, 12 dB crossover, etc. Now, we're going to start this video off a little different because I'm going to show the Do It Bump Dose segment first. Here you can see we have 14.4 for the massive audio power supply. And here's a JBL 12-inch powered subwoofer. Getting ready to test it out. In the back of the 37 Ford. Let's see how it works. For those who haven't seen videos about the 37 Ford, check links in the video description. I'll show you a couple I've done before. Okay, so I'm all sealed up here in the 37 Ford. I'm going to try some tests with this JBL powered subwoofer. Let's see how it performs. You can see the SSA meters down in the kick. We do have the app. Again, this is an app. That is the meter, so you have to have both. You can't just use an app on the phone. So let's first off find what the resonant frequency is of this box in this car. Let's see what frequency we get the highest dB with. Here we go. And let's reset this. Gotta say, that's one of the highest vehicle resonant frequencies I've ever measured. 72 hertz. Wow. So we're doing a 72 hertz burst to see what kind of SPL we get out of this Bass Pro sub. Here we go with a quarter volume for the JBL Bass Pro. Let's see what kind of SPL we get. Warning, warning, loud sounds coming your way. Get ready. I didn't think it was going to be that loud, honestly. Full send mode, max volume, here we go. Just a warning here, it's going to be loud sounds, friends. You might want to close your ears or hold your ears. Here we go. Could not beat 129.38. I honestly didn't think we were going to get that close to 130. I was thinking more like 125. Let's try a music track and see what we get. Let's try the woofer test song, see what kind of SPL we can get. You ready? Almost 130 dB from an all-in-one powered subwoofer system is not bad, but I will say I listened to several tracks off camera here, rock, rap, pop, country, a lot of different tracks, and it just didn't sound right with this subwoofer. Definitely tuned too high. Next up, we're going to remove the amplifier from the back of the subwoofer system so that we can put it on the amp dyno and test it out, find out how much power it really puts out. You know we're not going to have an amplifier shown on this video, on this channel, and not test it out. So let's remove the screws. There's 6 of them. Let's pop the amp out, and let's get it wired up here for the amp dyno. Going to use just a little termination block here. Check links in the video description if you want these. They're very useful. Here the amp is wired up with 8 gauge power and ground. And the rating is according to JBL, 150 watts RMS, 450 watts max. It does not give us an ohm load, so we have no idea what ohm load that is. Let's fire up the good old SMD, Demore Engineering Amplifier Dyno. If you've never seen one of these tests before, I'll explain it to you. On the left, we'll see the RMS power output in watts. In the middle, we'll see the ohm load. On the right, the voltage of the dyno. We'll also have the remote display so we can calculate the efficiency. 8 ohms mono, we're going to try that first. Here we go. Certified test first, up to 1% distortion. 64 watts, 14.42. I don't know if I expected more than that. Probably not, but hey, we tried it anyway. Uncertified up to clipping, we got a little more. 67 watts, 14.36. What about the dynamic burst mode? See how much dynamic headroom it has. Literally none. Exactly the same, or just 1 watt more. 68 at 14.43. Now, what about the efficiency? We measured 57% at 8 ohms. That is not good. This is a Class AB amp. We'll show it later. We'll show the internals. 4 ohms, maybe rated 150 watts. Let's go with that. So let's try it out here. Certified test first to 1% distortion. 114 watts at 14.37. So well shy of the 150 watts. So maybe it's rated at a different ohm load. Uncertified test up to clipping. Did get a little bit more. not quite 120, 118 at 14.3. What about dynamically? Can we get that 150 watts dynamic? Yeah, no. 120 watts, 14.4. Efficiency at 4 ohms, 58%. So right about the high 50s for this amp at 4 or 8 ohms. 2 ohms, maybe that's the place where it hits 150 watts. What do you say? Let's try it out here. It's counting up. It got to 156, but we had an issue, which is the amp went into protect. You can see both lights on, protect and power. Luckily, when we cycled the amp off, turned it back on, it just went into power mode. It did not stay in protect, so we're good there. Now let's take a closer look at this amplifier module and find out what's inside. Glued down components for sure. They got a whole bunch of glue in here to keep all that rattling from making the components come loose on the board, causing shorts. 2200 microfarad, 25 volts for the power supply section. Then we have 3300 microfarad, 50 volts on the rails. Again, this is a Class AB amp, kind of a cheapie. And yeah, I guess we shouldn't expect a whole lot more in this subwoofer amplified system, which is not very expensive. Now let's check out the resistance of the speaker. We got 3.3 to 3.4 ohms. This is probably a 4 ohm nominal impedance. And let's take out the subwoofer, take a closer look. Now on Amazon, it says it has a cast basket, but I think somebody put the wrong information in there because JBL's site does not say that. Here you can see the woofer. It does have a double stack magnet. It does have the old school style terminal and about a 2-inch voice coil. So just kind of a basic low end woofer here. And again, there you can see the flared port as well. All right, now let's talk about the pros and cons, things I like, things I think could be better, at least things to be aware of. First, the good stuff. It's inexpensive, all-in-one simplicity. All you pretty much need is an amp kit, and you need a way to mount it. Includes the bass remote, which is a cheap bass remote. Build quality is not bad, high or low level input, so it works with virtually any system. Things to consider: weak Class AB amplifier, no grill to protect the speaker, access to the power connections are kind of difficult, no mounting hardware included, so you're going to have to get your L brackets at Lowe's, and not a true subwoofer, I would say, because it really plays higher frequencies, not really the low sub frequencies. I gotta say, JBL disappointed me with this one. They usually make really good products and stuff I can recommend, but not this time. They probably should have sealed this subwoofer instead of had it ported. That way you could have got a little bit better low extension, even though you wouldn't have got as much output. So overall, thumbs down for this one. Let's check out some other ones in the future. If you guys want to see other models, let me know which ones you want to see in the video description below. Till next time, Big D, I'm out of here. So I thought it would be an interesting test to try 100 hertz instead of 40 hertz with this JBL Bass Pro 12 amp. So let's try the uncertified test. We can't run certified at 100 hertz, but let's see what kind of power we get. See if we get that 150 watts it's rated. You can see we're not quite there. 121, 14.36. 2.6 ohms with the JBL Bass Pro 12 amp. Uncertified test at 100 hertz. See if we can get 150 watts without it going into protect. Wow. Can't get any closer than that, my friends. 150 watts at 14.22, and we don't have any protect. I'll show you. There's the 150, 14.2, and we just have green power, no protect, no blown fuse. So there you have it. The amp does 150 watts, but it's 2.67 ohms.
You know how them sound waves go?
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway, and in the driveway.